Hey, what's going on? I'm Anthony Valadez, host of GP360, and what a season it has been, celebrating 40 years with Ozo Motley. That just took place last week, and things are in motion, things are happening, and it's great to see everybody's faces out in the crowd, and a reminder that Grand Performances has been doing this since 1987. Founded in 1986, and we are still going strong. And we're excited. The next show, Jimetta Rose, it's called Medicine. And we talked to Jimetta about the process of this show, who's involved, what Medicine means to her, the importance of Sun Ra, Raj G, connecting the dots from downtown LA to Leimert Park. So I hope you enjoy this episode. And a reminder, hit up grandperformances.org to check out this season's schedule. You can check out how you can support and donate so that we can continue to provide these amazing shows to you and yours. So without further ado, let's get to know Jimetta Rose on GP360. Let's go.
We are live.
Yes, we are.
See, everybody sings. Exactly.
I can't sing.
That is my theory. Mic check. And we are live, and we are live, and we are live.
Okay, so we're here in Leimert Park.
Yes.
I love the energy inside your space. Now, people are listening to this podcast. Can you describe the peacefulness within your home?
Oh, well, I surround myself with plants, so I have lots of plant friends here with me. I bless the house every morning, and so there is a slight sage incense smokiness in the air. Lots of records, lots of art. I do art. People give me art, so there's a lot of art everywhere and plants and life and really quiet. It's quiet. I listen to the birds.
I listen to birds too. I just got into that. Something happened after I hit 46. But anyways.
You're like, I had a transformation. I tuned in with Earth. Yeah, I've been like this. So it was interesting being like this at 20 or 15. I've always been like this. So it's awesome to have a space that reflects.
I want to talk about that, but I want to rewind to something you said. You bless your space every morning.
Yes.
Is there a ritual that you do? Do you bless the stage or something to that effect?
Oh, well, with the choir, we oftentimes, if we have time before a gig, we will, or sometimes we make time, but we do a circle of gratitude, saying what we're grateful for, to remember why we sing. So I do that with the choir. For myself personally, I think that with solo music, and I'm getting back into that. I don't have, on this project now that's coming, I have a great group of musicians, but they're not my band per se. For this project, they should be and will be, hopefully, crossing my hands for all of their availability because they're amazing. You know, I think that I pray over myself and my space before I leave the house anytime, and I try to be a blessing to any space I enter and expect to be received with love. And so I just move with great intentionality. And so I bless my space and myself before I leave. And so any show, this show, you know, if you call it a show, the shows are never shows to me. It's more a ministry. It's more opening up of the heart. And so I try to walk around life like that. And so, yeah, I bless myself before I leave.
I love this because I wanted to address something you said earlier as well. Moving back to that, where does that come from? So we talked about you blessing your space and the peace in your home, and then intentionality. Were you always this way? What was young Jimetta like, and how did you attribute all this?
Young Jimetta was a lot like this, and I marvel at it. You sat at my table and you were like, you sit here and you contemplate life. Like, I do that, especially my birthday just passed. And so, you reflect on your life. And I'm like, wow, I've definitely been doing this living on purpose, living in purpose on purpose for a long time. And it might be attributed to, if you get into astrology, my zodiac is Taurus. And so very focused, singularly focused. And so I knew I wanted to bring this energy forth, and I've just been trying to do that this whole time. I remember writing when I was about 17 or 18 that I was a singer, songwriter, poet, playwright, and I wrote like this long what I am. And I hadn't done all of that then, but at this point, when I look back, I'm like, wow, that's I'm doing that now. And so when you say like, how did I get this way? I think that I remained this way despite the challenges and tests of life. And I'm so grateful. I don't know how I stayed this way, because life can tend to bitter us and make us expect the negative when we've experienced negative. But somehow I have remained grateful. Gratitude has kept me anchored to, I think, my character.
I want to talk about grand performances, but you're dropping all these gems on me right now. Were you the odd child growing up in your community, or was this always a part of your community?
No, I was technically kind of the odd child, but I feel like I could relate or fit in. But I did always kind of stand out in that way. I was always like the mature friend. Like if we were friends in high school, your mother would love me and we could get away with almost anything because she trusts me. But then when you try to get away with anything, I'm like, are we sure about this? Like, I think we need to, and so that's why it's like a motherly character trait in me that I really love my friends and family, and not even just my friends and family. Like, I'm grateful for the capacity to love the unknown, right? And so even as I meet strangers, I feel love first before I feel any kind of aversion from them. I feel that unity in life and in love and spirit. In spirit, we're all here trying to figure out what this is, including the plants, and so being like that and just trying to fit in with the world, and trying to keep up with the times, because I don't really watch a lot of TV. I don't, and so I don't know. I've just been over here doing this and having fun and letting like my experience of the world kind of come through the people that I meet, because I don't necessarily explore the world in the same way.
Yeah, I think that might resonate with a lot of people. Now, how do you, when you perform at a space like Grand Performances, these are, what I love about you is that you're kind of this conduit into spirituality. A lot of the people that come, I love watching the crowds. And there are a lot of folks that have 9-to-5s, multiple kids, and I feel like they don't have the time, totally valid, to get into this world that you transport them into, but somehow you transport everybody into your world.
Yeah, I feel like, I do get it as far as like the scheduling and stuff. I think that every role and character that we embody in this life takes up some energy and some energy space. But understanding that your soul deserves to bloom and to really feel embodied, so that you give that gift to your children, so that you give that gift to your environment. And so if only for the moment of inspiration at my show that they feel that, maybe they'll try to cultivate it in their life. And I think that is the like right and responsibility of each person. And sometimes that feels burdensome when you have to find the time, or when you have to, but then when you make your life, like for me, I think that we call ourselves artists, or the society calls us artists when we make or create things. But then if the action of making and creating thing is what indicates artistry, I would say each person is an artist, because nobody taught you how to be Anthony Valadez. No one taught me how to be Jimetta Rose. But then as we lived, we created and made our rituals, our routines, our thought processes, our faith, our focus. Everything is like, oh, you choose it, and you put attention there and you become that. So innately, we are each all artists and all creatives. We create who we are. And so I think just reminding people of that wonderful opportunity and like, because it's an opportunity, but it also can feel like weight when you start to be like, oh man, even the bad stuff I'm responsible for. Yeah, even the bad stuff. But the great thing about forgiving yourself and making new decisions is that you change, and you can make yourself into something that you would respect more if you choose to, And so it's like this big opportunity and privilege that can also feel like a problem or a weight. And so it's like just highlighting the other side of it, letting you know it is a privilege and an opportunity to make what you want right now, right here. Ask and ye shall receive. People, of many faiths hear that, and it's about just having faith. Ask and you shall receive. You want to change, you can do that, but it's about changing your mind, changing your thoughts, changing. And so I think that whether we have time, make time, perceive time, right? Sun Ra existed beyond time. He invited people to do that. And I think that's why he's so timeless and so impactful on our minds, is because he keeps on inviting you into this realm that's limitless, and instead of being limited. And you think that the responsibility of being in control of your creation is limiting, but that's the limitlessness. The limitingness is everybody living the same. Everybody feeling disempowered from their imagination because, I'm not an artist, I'm just a regular person. But in your everyday life, how are you creating that,
Yeah, I'm curious because Sun Ra took me a while to understand. As a creative, as an artist, I knew there was something special about his work in a sense of his intentionality. Mm-hmm. But to understand, it took time. And once I got it, I got it. It's kind of like Tom Petty. I never understood his music. I just didn't until I hit 40 and I had a heartbreak. And I'm like, it snapped.
And you were walking on the beach and...
It was like a Viagra commercial.
Oh my God.
What do they say? Side effects include. It was like I don't know why I said that.
That is great. Side effects include is great. But I was gonna say that that is exactly it, and I think that's what's really amazing about Sun Ra is that he made sounds and music and sonic transmissions for so many vast different parts that perhaps when you didn't get it, it wasn't the part you were supposed to get. It's so many different sounds that can just activate.
Yeah.
And so once you heard something that did, I think that's when it probably started to, maybe it's a part of your life. Maybe like you said, the heartbreak but maybe it's just the curiosity.
Mm-hmm. It did it for me. I was watching a documentary and it was these musicians that were established in the jazz world in the late 60s, and they said that Sun Ra allowed them to be different. And even these musicians were like, I didn't get it, I didn't understand it until I was allowed to do what I've always wanted to do.
Right.
Then I listened to it with a fresh set of perspective, and then it clicked. Like, these are liberated musicians, and Sun Ra gave them that freedom.
Right.
Now, was it easy for you? Did you get it from the jump?
I feel like I definitely heard abstract tunes that were like, okay, it felt good to my brain, but did my ear understand it? Maybe not. So I would listen, but it would just kind of be like informing. It's like sound information. It's like ways that sound is possible, right? So I would just listen like that. And then my friend Raj G, God rest him, long live his sound. Raj G, I would go play music for G. If I recorded a new song, I would be like, listen to this, I worked on this, and he would give me his feedback, and it was always loving, but it was always honest. And so this particular time I played some song that I recorded and I was excited about arranging the backgrounds or something, and he was like, yeah, this is good, but he's like, everything you do is good. You sound good. He's like, but what you're going to do one day, he's like, you're going to sing like June Tyson. I had never heard of June Tyson. And he said, you know who that is? And I was like, no. He was like, you know how I be playing Sun Ra? I was like, yeah, I listen to Sun Ra. He's like, you never heard of June? He's like, you need to look up June Tyson. I went and looked her up, and then boom, I always felt connected to spiritual jazz from the 70s. And so like when I found somebody else's idea of somebody else's world and her voice was just ringing out with truth, I was like, wow, definitely a different style of singing than I had at the time. I was about 20 something when G told me that. And I was just like, yeah, well, wow, I hope, to one day be able to strongly sing like that. I'm like, I didn't see the correlation between what I was doing then and where he could see me going. But I did want to sing jazz and spiritual jazz music at that time. I did think of that, but I had never even heard this soundscape. So it was kind of like, wow. So to continue growing in that focus, to get here now and to be like, wow, he was right. That's the only place I want to sing. I want to sing free. It's interesting that you said the musicians were liberated. I as a singer, would like to liberate myself from genre. I want to be able to sing whatever I want to sing. I want to be able to tell the story how it needs to be told. It doesn't have to always be R&B. It doesn't have to be soul. Like within jazz, there's this ability to just sing and use my instrument. The voice is an instrument, and oftentimes we're, delegated and kind of isolated into a field or a task, and then that makes it only room for one. It's like, no. Let us be creative. Let us create new sounds with our voices. Let us get away from the auto tune. Like, it's funny. So I had to do I was about to say podcast, but I had to do a session where it was an AI session. They're trying to replace all these AI vocals, and whoever programmed the AI, we won't go on into that, but they must have used Gladys Knight, Aretha Franklin, Shaka Khan, and a little Patti LaBelle. So this vocal was crazy to replace, but I was able to replace it. What I heard was that AI doesn't breathe. Breath is the only advantage that a vocalist has actually on AI, because that's where our character is. Where do you need to breathe? Can you hit this note? Blah, 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 blah. So I said that to say, as a vocalist, I'd like to be free. And I won't say I'd like to be, because I say that I live with intentionality. I've created an ability for myself to be free and just able to sing whatever songs. If it's a song from a gospel song, if it's a spiritual song, if it's a jazz song, I want to sing what the people need. I don't want to sing what the formula says is going to make music or going to make money. I'm sorry. And so liberating other vocalists and myself from genre, be creative, like make sounds, make new sounds. That's where innovation actually can occur, and AI can only emulate innovation. And that's why the breath, our spirit, is what keeps us ahead of these technologies we've built and of these times. That's where we are ahead, in our breath and in our imagination. And so I just would like to use both of those things as much as I can before I get up out of here.
And before you get out of here, and while Jimetta checks on her banana bread, I want to remind you that Grand Performances is powered by you. You make this possible. With your support, this podcast is able to be recorded, to be funded, to fund all the little things, from speakers to monitors to cables, all the way to safety and security and everything that goes into putting on a successful night or a season. And a reminder, June 20th, Jimetta Rose presents the world debut of Metasun, a Sun Ra operatic experience. That's going to be amazing. We also have Jose coming. Jose, one of the most amazing, prolific Brazilian artists. J Period and Josh Kuhn present the art of the crossfade, and you never know who J Period is going to bring when it comes to his amazing sets. And Culture Clash. Come on, the legends who have been doing it in the Chicano comedy scene forever rock June 27th. And the wonderful event, a tribute to Stevie Wonder. I can go on and on. Again, head over to grandperformances.org, and we hope to see you there. All right, Jimetta's back with their little banana bread. Let's get back to our conversation. It's GP360. When you mentioned Roz G,
Yes.
it reminded me of, you've collaborated with so many different producers from so many different genres, a part of the LA beat scene. We can go back to that, but then that made me think about wanting the listeners to understand that you are not an overnight success.
Right.
You've had a journey, and for some folks, you're fresh on the radar at Grand Performances, but I want to talk about your journey, the beginning in your evolution, and maybe even talk about, you're working with Ross G and the countless others to where you're at now with the Voices of Creation. Jimetta Rose and the Voices of Creation.
Wow, it has been a journey. I've been singing since I can remember, but in LA since I was maybe, I don't know what, the 2002, 2001 time. I've had a few bands through the years, and feature vocalist with a lot of stellar musician peers of mine and family that I love and still collaborate with and support their music. And I think the very integral people in my journey have been Shafiq Hussein, who's on the gig, Dexter Story, Miguel Atwood Ferguson would call me for a lot of shows too. And so just being able to stretch, I think that it was like a lot of hip hop singing that I was grateful for, but I felt very limited by. I wanted to sing other things, and people would be like, "Oh, come in and, sing that note," or, "What, do this." And I'm like, well, cool, I hear what you want, but I want to do something too. And so I was always making music myself, and I think growing in these different avenues of being called to sing with other people, growing my musical ear, and also, coming in with a great work ethic. I think it's important to know as an independent artist that it's you what you don't know you will learn, but what you do know you should do exceptionally well to the best of your ability. And so I think whenever I was a part of all of these ensembles, that's what I would try to do as a vocalist, is just know my part, do it exceptionally well. And over time, though, I saw production and how production works as far as event production and music production. And I had gone to Hollywood High School, so I did stage plays, and so I had a lot of information that I was kind of like just not even intentionally gathering, but as you go through experiences you absorb knowledge. And so I'm really grateful for the path, although it did get discouraging at times, because you would hear, "Oh, you the best singer in the city, you should be on now, you should have made it." And the frustration of your art needing to support your livelihood starts to make you feel like, yeah, I should have made something by now. And am I crazy for still dreaming? Am I crazy for still pursuing this? But I think that the music always has also saved me. I'm a little cold. The music has also saved me the whole way. Like when I really seriously contemplated stepping away from singing, I started the choir, and it was supposed to not be about me. It was supposed to just be like, I want to sing with people. We're going to sing and remember why I sing. I sing to bring love and joy and peace and harmony onto the planet. And I wanted to find people that wanted to do that with me. And I had no idea we would eventually record records and tour. I had been trying to tour for 15 years, 12 years before that with various music. And this time it was music that I'm producing and that I'm arranging. And that was an empowering time. Shout out to my collaborator and partner on Voices of Creation, Jack Mabey. He's my organist, and he's who I started the choir with. And Jack empowered me in a lot of ways, because I had been making up all these ideas all the time, and it would be melodies, and it would be how the bass line should go. And Jack is like, "Jimetta, you're producing these songs. These are your productions." And I'm like, "Yeah, but I couldn't do it without you." He's like, "Yeah, but Quincy Jones didn't know how to play every instrument. You know how to get what you want in your head out. And that's what you're doing with the choir." And I remember being like, okay, I mean, yeah, I do write these songs, but, and he's like, "Jimetta, if the music doesn't feel how you want it, you start describing things, and we have to get it there before you will perform it." And he's like, "That's production." And I remember being like, Okay. And so now 2 albums in with the choir, and 7 years later, we had our 7 year anniversary just now. They have been with me through my mom and my brother passing. They have been with me through all the turmoil that came before this piece of this new chapter of Jimetta Rose. And I finally feel ready to share solo music again. I was very hesitant about singing out because I really just felt like, well, Jimetta, maybe you got too ego driven in this and you feel like you're owed this success, but just sing, just sing. And so I was away from that. And like within the choir, I write songs for the other people to sing the solo, but all the songs start out as like a testimony or a balm for some ailment in my spirit, and it'll end up working. I can feel the chemistry of the song working on me, and so then I'm like, okay, this is something that I can sing with the choir. And like watching the music work within our choir, we're not a forced family, it's something that I've always longed for within the music scene, period, and quote unquote the industry, is like community and true like a family vibe. I love my collaborators. Like when we work on music, even if we don't see each other every day, like, when you work on something with me personally, I'm a person that's like, let's rehearse once a week. Cause like, it's like you gotta spend time with each other and breathe together, and grieve together, laugh together, smile together, be tired and nobody feel like being here today, but then we do it and we all feel better together. That is a part of the music to me. And so, seeing the choir, I think that helped me to answer the call when musicians such as Michaela Session and Ahmad DeBose Dawson called me like, okay, I hear you really sing good. Like, what's up? Why don't you do shows? And I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm focused on the choir and whatever. And they're like, well, won't you do some shows? And I don't like cover songs. I don't really like singing contemporary cover music if I can avoid it, like Jill Scott.
That's funny because one of my favorite songs from you is a Nirvana cover.
Oh, but it's always people asking me to do covers because it's like usually unless if I think of it, it's probably going to be what ended up happening, which is like, well, if I sing, I'll sing these Sunrise songs. And I was like, I always sing them to myself, and like, that's where I feel like I have room for interpretation. I don't want to get locked into people know the song. Yeah. And so that's what I started doing about 4 to 5 years ago, just popping up every now and then with Michaela Session or with Ahmad with Black Arts District or with Catalyst, and like usually Black Arts District because it would be like Ahmad's programming because he does that. And so he would just be like, come on, Jimetta, just sing 5 songs, sing 4 songs. Like, and so I slowly started integrating my own catalog with these Sun Ra covers, with a Sarah Vaughan cover, with just exploring, like, if I made a solo album, how would I want it to sound? How do I want to sing? And that's where it was. It was out. It was out still with the message of the VOC technically, because that's still just me. But this is me, and it's a bit more fiery when it comes through me solo. It's a bit more dare you to dream because it's just singular. It's like, I think it's like concentrated, the energy instead of dispersed and like pretty and easy to digest. I think that what makes the concentrated version easy to digest is the intentionality and the work over time at remaining exceptional, at being an open channel. I won't say being this great vocalist. I'll say just trying to be the best I can be. I think that intentionality with the heartfelt belief, just like my plant grew from one leaf, I believe that humanity can internally change one at a time until it's a cataclysmic change what we are experiencing. And so with whole heart, I dedicate myself to inspiring people to remembering that we are divinely created to create a divine space. Peace is possible. And not only is it possible, it's natural. However, if you don't believe it's natural, it's not natural. If you believe in chaos more, we're going to see it more. So we got to change more hearts and minds. We have to get out of the fear-based reality and get into a faith-based reality, which has a lot to do with activating people's imagination of who and what they are and are what they're capable of. So when I say like now it's a solo journey, I don't plan on it being solo, which is why it became this opera experience, because I started writing a sci-fi story about a planet, because I'm like, okay, what gives me the right to sing sunrise songs and not only sing them on stage, like, that's just continuing the legacy, but to make a project and to make reinterpretations, to add words where there were none. And like, what gives you the right? And it was like, well, my imagination. He told me to go into my imagination. He told me to make a myth. He told me, I heard it. And I heard it before the documentary. I heard it. I heard the call and I answered. And I said, okay, I'm going to write a story. And the reason I'm writing a story is because now that I'm going to make this solo album, it's kind of like, I don't want people to think, oh, I'm only doing solo and I'm not doing the choir anymore. So I'm going to make a world. And it's a world where we go through this portal of sound, because the chaos of earth is too much. And musicians start playing and we go through this portal. We end up with all the faithful hearted people on planet Medicine, where the voices of creation live in the clouds, where
medicine. It just hit me.
And it's
medicine.
Yeah.
Okay. So speaking of medicine, I didn't mean to interrupt you, by the way.
No, but that's it.
It just hit me. Medicine. That's beautiful. And for those of you listening, Jimetta Rose presents Medicine, a Sun Ra operatic experience, and that's taking place Saturday, June 20th. And so what should folks, wow, you just blew my mind with that medicine.
Yes.
What should folks expect from this evening?
To be transported for an evening into the imagination and into what is possible. And we'll all take a trip to Planet Medicine together. There's going to be a scavenger hunt for joy. That is an immersive experience. I want people to feel the possibility within them. There'll be movement dancers. There'll be the choir singing as they always do. But in this context, they should be considered the characters singing from the clouds, but singing for love and harmony, singing to heal ourselves and others. That's always been our mission. And so that's what the choir will do. And then Shafiq will be doing live mashups and remixes with dancers doing improv, dancers doing choreography, and just seaming the story together to try to tell this story about medicine, this planet where things are possible, and having a couple of moments that are definitely targeted to like just bring in sunrise invitation to the imagination and saying that that's how we're traveling, and just ending up at a place where we all know what's possible and we'll wait for everybody else to catch up.
My brain is still medicine.
Yeah.
I'm still like, that was brilliant. I love that. And we're excited. Shafiq Hussein, big fan, excited to see what he brings to the table. This sounds like you're tapping into your Hollywood high roots of theater.
Yes, theater, exactly. Yeah, lots of it.
You're a collision of many things, and I think LA is very happy, very lucky to have you. I have two last questions, because I feel like it would be criminal if we didn't talk about the Voices of Creation.
Yes.
And the members, and one of them being my sister, Novena Carmel.
Yes.
And I love how you shouted her out on the record. You were a radio DJ. You're like, I'm filling in for Novena Carmel.
I'm like, I'm filling in. Exactly. Shout out to every single member of the VOC, Novena Carmel, Anka Neal, Tamara Blue, Kalila Gardner, Roz Kumari, Tamina Lawson, Gabby Hernandez, Stephen Kelly, Cam Talbert, Sean Smith, Johanse Wright, Alacoy Pete, Michael Alvidrez, and Salenta Baisden. And always with us is Jack Maybe. And so, like, we we out here, and it's funny because you would think it's something that you have to keep people engaged in, or how do you keep them committed? But I think that for all of us, it feels like a part of our life force. It's a part of what we're supposed to do. It keeps us going through the week. Some of the members have even said like, "Hey, man, come to rehearsal on Saturday. That's my recharge for the week." Or, some of us, we drag in there, and look at Novena, as busy as she is, she still makes time to come to rehearsals. We rehearse on Saturdays, to come to gigs. And so I think that is what is beautiful about the group, is that you can see the proof of the work and the proof of the ministry in the commitment, in the camaraderie, in the fact that I'm lovey-dovey, but I couldn't force all of them to be lovey-dovey. And somehow they created their own bonds with each other that are strong, and like 7 years deep. Everybody, we always have Christmas, like a holiday potluck, and then we'll have a birthday party for us turning 7, or this year we had the 7-year. But like I make sure that we celebrate our milestones together. I make sure that we celebrate each other. And then it's funny, is because I won't say I make sure we celebrate each other. We naturally celebrate each other. I make sure we celebrate the group's milestones. And at first it was like I was doing that, and now like the group does it. Like, so what are we doing for the anniversary party? Like, are we taking off that week, or are we? And it's like, yay. And so now, having toured together 2 years in a row in Europe, and it's just lots of memories that we have together. And I tell them all that, it's not a young choir, so everybody's married with kids. Shout out to their partners and their families that have the grace to allow them to, but not allow them, because they're having the courage and the I don't know, like the inspiration within themselves to allow themselves to do this too. But the sacrifice of the time, and I think that is what I didn't know if it was going to happen or not, and I'm so grateful that it has been working. It's still, most of the choir are the same original members from 2019.
I remember you putting out a post on social media. It was that organic, like, who wants to join me? I remember seeing that post.
Yeah. Who wants to sing from their heart?
Yeah, I remember that. I remember seeing it, and to see it become what it is today, and to know that it's going to grace the stage of grand performances on Saturday, June 20th. Get there early. Shafiq Hussein will be
on the decks. Yeah. And it'll be that'll get there early so you can go through the scavenger hunt, get your face paint at the Afro-Clown Art Village. They're going to have cosmic face paint. We'll have a sunrise selfie booth where you can take a cosmic selfie that we hope you post with the hashtags and everything. And we'll also have a dream tree where you could write or draw what you hope to see in this future world that we're building together. And it'll just be lots of things to do, some choreography to learn even. So we're gonna have a good time together, and feel invited to bring your imagination, ready to play.
Jimetta Rose, thank you so much for joining us on GP360.
Thank you, GP360 and Anthony Valadez. I've had a wonderful time.
Good. Let's try that. Let's try that banana bread.
Oh, see, now you want to slice.
We didn't know that Jimetta not only cooks on the mic, but cooks in the kitchen with some amazing banana bread. Anyways, grandperformances.org, all the details, this season's lineup, and come celebrate with us. 40 years of live performances committed to celebrating the city's diversity, its artistry, and its beauty on the live stage at Grand Performances. And if you see me, say hi. My name's Anthony Valadez, and a big thank you to Jimetta Rose for taking the time to hang with us right here on Grand Performances' very own first podcast, GP360. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Have a great day. Peace.